Dogged by scandal, stripped of his titles, and an outcast within his own family, Prince Andrew is reportedly now in advanced talks to leave his home, the Royal Lodge.
Prince Andrew, once seen as the royal family's golden child, is now at the center of one of the most public and controversial scandals in royal history. But what's the real story behind the headlines? With mounting pressure from King Charles and the royal family, Andrew is facing an undeniable reckoning. And this time, it might be the final chapter. In this video, we're diving deep into the latest royal drama. Why is Prince Andrew suddenly leaving Royal Lodge? What's the deal with his financial troubles? And why is he demanding 2 homes? And most importantly, how will this affect the monarchy's future? Hold tight as we break down the saga that's shaking the very foundation of the British royal family.
Well, his finances are subject, to speculation, but he said he could afford to live there. But since the latest revelations about his links with Jeffrey Epstein, obviously now he's given up.
Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has been living in Royal Lodge for years, but the royal family's tolerance is running out. The man who once held a prominent position in the monarchy is now being forced to confront the consequences of his actions. The years of scandal surrounding his name have finally caught up with him. For decades, Andrew's sense of entitlement and arrogance have been his defining traits. As the 65-year-old royal faces a lifetime of controversies, including the scandal with Virginia Giuffre, it seems that his time in the spotlight is over. The allegations, the interview disaster with the BBC in 2019, and the public outrage have left him with little support. But there's a catch. He's not just stepping down, he's demanding more. In fact, he's asking for 2 homes. Why? Well, it all comes down to his complex relationship with Sarah Ferguson and his mounting financial woes. But what exactly is going on with Andrew's finances, and why is he making such a bold request?
I mean, what planet are they on, trying to demand to? Well, it looks like his time at Royal Lodge is coming to an end, but he is frantically negotiating where he goes next. Now, most of us, if we found ourselves in a hole as deep as Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew's latest move is simple. He's asking for 2 houses. But why? The problem, insiders say, lies in his relationship with Sarah Ferguson. Despite their divorce, the pair have lived together for years at Royal Lodge, and Andrew insists that Ferguson needs a proper residence. But here's the issue. He's demanding 2 properties for the pair. One possible home on the table, the famously exclusive Adelaide Cottage, currently home to Prince William and Princess Kate. But with this request, Andrew is clearly pushing his luck. Adelaide Cottage is no longer suitable for William and Kate, who are set to move to Forest Lodge. So why is Andrew so determined to have it? The monarchy is already under a microscope, and Andrew's demands are only adding fuel to the fire. How can the royal family justify paying for not just 1, but 2 homes for Andrew and Sarah? Given the public scrutiny over the royal family's expenses, it seems this situation is only going to get worse. While Andrew's financial troubles and public scandal dominate the headlines, there's another figure who plays a crucial role in this drama, Sarah Ferguson, his ex-wife. Even though the couple divorced back in 1996, Sarah continues to live with Andrew in Royal Lodge. Their relationship, though not romantic, has been one of mutual support. But here's where things get complicated. Sarah Ferguson, often referred to as Fergie, has remained by Andrew's side through thick and thin. She's a figure who has, at times, been as divisive as she has been loved. Her connection to Andrew, despite their separation, is clear. They've remained close. And Fergie has played a role in caring for their children, especially during Andrew's most tumultuous years. She is often described as someone who was always there for Andrew, and it's this bond that now places her at the center of the royal family's ongoing struggles. However, as the royal family grapples with Andrew's scandal and attempts to distance themselves from him, questions about Sarah's role are beginning to surface. Should she too be part of this royal purge, or does she deserve continued support, given her long-standing relationship with the family? This question becomes even more important now, as Sarah's living arrangement at Royal Lodge adds an extra layer of complexity to the royal household's efforts to resolve the situation. In the face of these controversies, Sarah's position remains precarious. While she has distanced herself from her past indiscretions, including the infamous toe-sucking incident and her financial scandals, many still see her as a figure of public scrutiny. Some argue that as an ex-wife, she has no right to continue living in a royal residence, especially as Andrew's issues have caused further complications for the monarchy. Others, however, feel that Sarah has carved out a place for herself within the royal fold. She's an active, though sometimes controversial supporter of her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. Should she be cast aside now simply because of the actions of her former husband? There's also the question of how Sarah's relationship with the media affects her status. Unlike Andrew, who's been at the center of scandals involving legal cases and allegations, Sarah has largely rehabilitated her public image. She's been active in charity work, particularly around children's issues, and has used her platform to highlight causes close to her heart. Yet, her persistent connection to Andrew and their continued cohabitation keeps her in the headlines, often in a way that feels inseparable from his own misdeeds. Does this mean Sarah is caught in a situation of guilt by association, or is she a victim of circumstance? Her ongoing ties to Andrew complicate matters, as it appears that the royal family's attempts to sever ties with Andrew are by extension affecting Sarah as well. This is no easy question for the royal family. Should Sarah be given a new home, or is it time for her to stand on her own, completely independent of Andrew's legacy? In royal circles, some insiders argue that Sarah's loyalty to Andrew, despite his many controversies, is admirable, while others believe her proximity to him is damaging to her reputation and the monarchy's image. With Andrew's future uncertain and his role in the family up for discussion, Sarah's future remains equally unclear. At 63 years old, Sarah Ferguson's future within the royal fold is now a matter of debate. She's enjoyed the privileges that come with her association to the royal family for years. But should this continue, especially with the growing public perception of the monarchy distancing itself from past scandals? As the royal family works to protect its image, it's clear that Sarah Ferguson's position is still in flux. Should she be given the right to remain in royal residences? Or is it time to cut ties completely with the past? For Sarah, this might just be her moment to find her own way, separate from her former husband and the controversies that have plagued the Duke of York. Her story, although often overshadowed by Andrew's, is one of resilience, complexity, and quiet defiance. Will the palace finally cut her loose, or will she continue to play a part in royal affairs in her own right? Only time will tell if Sarah Ferguson can continue to find a place within the royal family, or if her future will be as much a reflection of Andrew's troubled legacy as her own path forward. At the core of this entire situation is the scandal that has plagued Andrew for years, the Virginia Giuffre allegations. Despite his public denial, the accusations have continued to tarnish his reputation. Andrew's 2019 BBC interview, meant to clear his name, instead only deepened the controversy. His bizarre explanations for the night in question, along with his denial of any wrongdoing, left the public and the royal family shaken. Now, even as Andrew protests his innocence, the court of public opinion is unyielding. The monarchy, already struggling with the Harry and Meghan fallout, is finding it increasingly difficult to shield Andrew from further damage. His appearance at public events is now seen as a liability, and his financial dealings, including a large settlement paid to Giuffre, are raising even more questions. This is the most public scandal the royal family has faced in decades, and the damage to their image is far-reaching. The monarchy has been forced to address these allegations, but Andrew's defiance and insistence on his innocence have only prolonged the crisis. King Charles, ever the diplomat, has tried to protect his brother for years, but the time for patience has passed. His public support for Andrew is now officially over. The question now is, how does Charles handle the fallout? His decisions, particularly regarding Andrew's living arrangements, are key to maintaining the family's image and the monarchy's stability. Charles, who has been striving to modernize the monarchy, now faces the daunting challenge of dealing with a brother who seems unwilling to step away from royal life. Even Prince William is now becoming involved, though not in the way Andrew might have hoped. The heir to the throne, while maintaining a sense of duty to his family, is increasingly frustrated by the negative press surrounding Andrew. Let's talk about the money. According to reports, Andrew's financial situation isn't as rosy as it seems. Despite the £7.5 million he invested in Royal Lodge, insiders say Andrew has been living on a peppercorn rent deal, a term used for incredibly cheap rent. Yet here he is, asking for more. 2 homes, one of them perhaps in Frogmore Cottage. But the question remains, Where is all this money coming from? Reports suggest a tangled web of financial mismanagement and questionable sources of income. Is it time for the monarchy to start holding him accountable? Could this be the tipping point? The truth is, the royal family is being scrutinized like never before, and Andrew's actions are making it even harder to maintain their carefully crafted image. But is it time for the monarchy to stand firm and say enough is enough? As this drama unfolds, public opinion is turning against Andrew, and it's starting to have a ripple effect on the entire royal family. The monarchy's biggest asset is its image, and every time Andrew's name is linked to another scandal, that image suffers. But it's not just Andrew. The royal family, once seen as the epitome of grace and unity, is facing a growing divide. Prince Harry's departure from royal duties was just the beginning. Now Charles, William, and Kate are faced with the enormous challenge of balancing their duties as public figures with their need for privacy and security. And Andrew's actions are only complicating that balance. The monarchy is at a crossroads, and the public's trust is hanging by a thread. Can they survive this latest scandal? What's next for Prince Andrew? The royal family's patience is wearing thin. While some insiders say that his role within the monarchy could be redefined, others believe that it's time for Andrew to step away entirely. The discussions of stripping him of his Duke of York title have gained momentum. Could the monarchy finally sever its ties with him? It seems that Prince Andrew's future within the royal family is uncertain. But one thing is clear: the royal family will never be the same again. There's talk of an act of parliament that could strip him of his royal title. But the question remains: will the monarchy finally make the bold move to cut ties, or will they continue to protect their own? As the royal family navigates these troubled waters, the question remains: is it time for a shift? Andrew's financial and personal issues have only worsened the monarchy's reputation. Perhaps it's time for a major change. Should the royal family embrace a new era of transparency and accountability, or will they continue to protect their own, no matter the cost? The monarchy has weathered scandals before, but this one feels different. The public's faith is beginning to erode, and the royal family needs to decide whether to adapt to the modern age or remain stuck in the past. The saga of Prince Andrew is one that could define the future of the royal family. Will he find redemption, or will he continue to be a thorn in the crown's side? The next steps are crucial, not just for Andrew, but for the monarchy as a whole. And in the end, how the royal family handles this crisis will determine its legacy for generations to come. What do you think? Should Prince Andrew have a place within the royal family, or is it time to cut ties once and for all? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal updates. Paz.